Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I want to speak with you about the offerings that you can give to the goddess Astarte, Ishtar, Inanna, Aphrodite. Again, for me it's the same goddess, as I already spoke about it in my previous videos. So we have a mention from some book that I read, from some archaeological findings, that in the temple of Astarte, Aphrodite in Greece, they found archaeological evidence, and it had some hole in the ground. This well had salt water, not regular water, but salt water. And again, we know because the goddess is associated with the sea. So why I'm telling you this? Because if you're building an altar to this goddess, if you're worshiping her, you can actually put those items and those, associations on your altar. So you can put a bowl of salt water. You can put, of course, it will be better to put seawater. And this is very appropriate for this goddess. Now, another thing that I read in this book, that the priests used to consecrate her temple with the blood of a dove. So they used to cleanse the temple with the blood of a dove. It was a special rite. And then they took the statue of the goddess, and in a special rite, they take it to a sacred place where they bathe in a ritualistic way the statue. We're not going to kill doves here, but still, like if you're going hardcore, I'm just giving you the information. Again, you can also look this up. You don't have to take my word, as an absolute word. You can look all of that information. So as you know, doves are actually associated with the goddess. I don't know, maybe if you have some blood of a dove, maybe you can put it on the altar. And mainly, everything that has to do with doves are associated with the rituals that were performed for the goddess. Now, from another book that I read, in Sumer, they actually were giving butter to the goddess. Butter and milk were very, very precious food items, as you know, precious food. And they were probably very expensive, and it was very important because basically that was the main source of nutrition. And also today it should be this way. It is very valuable. So they used to give her butter and milk. Dates also were associated with the goddess Inanna. So you can give all of those things, butter, milk, dates, flowers, roses, maybe some more flowers. We know that myrtle flower and rose are associating with Astarte, Aphrodite. Also in some special rite that have to do with Adonis and Aphrodite, or Inanna and Tammuz, you can give her poppies. You can give her poppy seeds or the flowers poppies. Also, offerings are very sacred. It's not about chasing the item. It is something valuable that is actually valuable to yourself. So, in ancient times, milk and butter were highly precious. And actually, they're very precious also today because it has a high nutritional value. So you can give that as an offering. And also it can be meats like lamb or some steak, some cow. Also apples, because apples are associated with the goddess. And everything that is, coming through your mind, because maybe the goddess can actually connect with you and you will receive some messages to what to bring to the goddess. It is very sacred, it is very personal, it is between you and the goddess. I cannot impose my opinion or, to tell you that this is how it should be and that's it. But I'm just giving you the clues that, are described in some ancient text. So what we also know, we know that the goddess Astarte is connected with the stars, so maybe you can have some something that is associated with, the galaxies, the stars, like, decoration. Also, a major part is perfumes and fragrances and essential oils. So this is something also that you can bring to the goddess. Just buy for her some fragrance that you like. I noticed that she really likes benzoin, which is, sort of vanilla. So this is something that is very, very good. And also, of course, roses. So you can buy perfumes for her as well. Another thing is to write for her poems and dedications and, gratitude. Like, you can write it down, you can put it in her altar, and whatever is coming to your mind. You can also give her as an offerings songs that are associated with her. I actually found some songs. I was looking for Sumerian music and I found some beautiful woman that is singing some amazing songs with a very beautiful voice. And she has like songs that are associating with the Sumerian pantheon, for instance, Ishtar's descent. Like, this is very beautiful. I will have the links down below so you can like listen to those songs and maybe it will give you some inspiration. So also, of course, wine and honey is also good, but the honey, like, I'm not just putting honey, like you can put honey on top of some butter or some fruits, so it will be more interesting. She has the association with sweets. I find that she really likes sweets, but again, it should be something like sacred. For instance, I don't eat sweets. I hate them and I don't like them. So if I will give to her like some candies, it will not be correct, because in my opinion, I don't like all of these chemical foods, you see, and I view them as something disgusting. So I will not give it to her. I will give something else, like honey or pastries, of course, or, butter with honey, but not something that I will buy from a store, because I personally don't eat it. So why I will give something for the goddess if I think it's like not good? You see what I mean? Also, in ancient times, we have this depiction from the Bible, as you know, that women used to have these cake molds, and they actually did cakes for the goddess, some pastries. So you can do it yourself, you can bake for her something, you can, make those cookies in that image that is actually was in the ancient times. And of course, don't forget candles. In my opinion, it should be like a 7-day candle that is always lit, that it always have energy. This is like from my personal experience. When the altar is like not working, when there are no candles, it's like not the best. So if you're working with her, make sure that your altar is always have candles. But again, safety candles. Don't just do fire in your home. Those, 7-day candles, the big ones, or even the small ones. But it should always have energy. Like, the energy always should be present. Again, it's a serious goddess. It's not just, a goddess of beauty and love. It's not only in like ending in this category, not at all. It's like this is a major goddess. Like, it's something serious. It is like goddess of life, basically, and of death also. So guys, I will really like for you to actually write in the comments, what do you do for the goddess, like how your altar is present, like what do you put on the altar, what offerings do you give. Like, I would like to know and like to share this information, because I don't find like a lot of people who are actually working with the goddess. I mean, of course there are people, but I would like to know you more. Like, if you are somewhere, please write in the comments. I also found out that like if you have a garden, it is best for you to even do an altar outside, because this is a nature god. It is a goddess of nature as well. So you can put an altar outside, you can actually make the place very beautiful, because also I read like in ancient times the temples had a lot of trees. They had groves of trees, of course, because you know she's associated with trees, especially Inanna. She has this story, the hulupu tree, which I will talk about it later. And they also had beautiful gardens that they used to keep for the honor of the goddess. So I will do another video that you can actually like set up your altar if you don't know how. But you know, start with your own intuition. Like, no one needs to give you some strict rules. Just take that information and see how you're going from there. Also, of course, incense. So the incense is actually dried roses and reeds, dried reeds, and of course frankincense and sandalwood, especially dried reeds, because reeds are connected with water. So anyways, thank you for watching, and please write in the comments what do you think about this subject, what offerings do you give to the goddess, and follow me on Instagram on magicalkey666.